Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Greetings, everyone. How's everybody doing tonight? Yes. Big up A, Shanique, Marie. Oh, how do you pronounce that? The KHO, no, the KHXOS. I love that song that you have. It's beautiful. Love the movement. Nea Shax. Michael Rose. Big up yourself. Oh, great one. Empress Money. Wow. Yeah, man, just go and enjoy. Come inside. Let us have a moment. It's been a while since I've shared some time and space. And I just wanted to do a quick check-in, a quick mental health check-in for my friends and family online. So many of you have been with me for a very long time. It has been a long journey, you know, before social media was even a thing. And now we're in a time when social media is everything, you know, and the marketing is everything. And we're not necessarily getting the quality in the other realms of artistry, but we give thanks because it keeps us engaged, it keeps us scrolling. But I'm just so happy to have a platform where I can connect with all of you. Africa, my sister. Yeah, you know, it's wonderful. Big up Kenya, Selector Oganyo. Yeah, Erisek, I hope I said that right. Yeah, so I'm just on here for a little while. I'm about to go do a workout. And I mean, can I just say, I don't know how many of you here are like parents or, you know, responsible for a lot of things. It is so difficult sometimes to just carve out a moment for yourself. And I don't mean to do your work. I mean just a moment where you can stop everything and put your phone down and just lie flat on the floor somewhere and just breathe deeply into your belly and just really slow down time. How many of us take the time to do that? You know what I mean? How many of us take the time to do that? That's really crucial. I really have so much love for the people who every day I watch your pages, or every day that I come online, I watch your pages and you're always on your grind, and they've really taken a serious interest in expressing themselves on social media and sharing, you know, the authentic part of themselves. And sometimes authenticity is a difficult thing to capture in a social media space because you're not talking to an audience, you're talking to what could be anybody. And so it's sometimes so difficult to know what to say, you know, especially for those of us who want to serve. You come on here and you're not just, you know, you're not just trying to say, hey, look at me, I'm wearing this today, or look at my makeup. And these things are really cool because I really enjoy that kind of content personally. But for some of us, that's a little awkward to just be on here talking about ourselves. So in my endeavor to reintroduce myself to you all, and you know, from the journey that I've been on and all the things I want to share and all the things that have happened in my actual life, because it is my actual life that feeds my creative experience as well and my creative expression. And I've had the most life altering 4 years and the most incredible 2 years and the most just, I don't even have the words, but like the past 12 months of my life have shifted the very fabric of who I am as a human being, you know, from things I will share more about. But this is just a check-in. This is just a check-in, just to say, hey, I'm around and I really want to connect with you all. And over the course of the next few months, there's a lot I will be doing. First and foremost is Japan. Japan is happening in 2 weeks. Now, Japan for me is one of those bucket list things. Like, apart from the continent of Africa, like going to Japan is right there for me. I've been in love with that culture since I was a little girl, watching the Kickers on a Sunday on JBC, and just feeling like, wow, these Asian people can do anything. Like anything you see them do, you believe. You see them walking on water, and you're like, I guess it's possible to do that for real. You know, and the more you learn about these ancient cultures, you realize a lot of things that you may think are impossible are quite possible. You know, their medicine, their culture, their discipline, their respectfulness. It's really beautiful to me. So I'm really looking forward to not just going to Japan and sharing, but going to Japan and learning and asking some of the questions that I have for you all in my community, asking them in a different context. So finding out about love and relationships and what people, you know, how people deal with the challenges of life and the challenges of being a woman or being a man in other cultures. We have our African community as well, our East African community that we'll talk to about this, and we have you, and we have Japan. And we want to have that conversation out loud because, boy, that thing, that man and woman thing is a beautiful thing. It is just such a beautiful thing to find somebody that matches your energy, to find partnership that is not just beautiful, but that has the potential to create life. It's a beautiful thing. And I wish we could have more safe conversations about it, about the dark parts of it and about the light and beautiful parts of it. So yeah, all of that is coming, and I'm holding space for my brothers and my sisters in the coming months to have some of these conversations, to talk about uno business. And you never know, we might do a little matchmaking on this channel. And you know, you never know, Jana and fans are beautiful people, so it's great when you all can meet each other. You never know. So yeah, man, it's all about holding space for beautiful things to happen, you know, for open hearts to meet each other. You get me? Yes, Orisha, safe conversations. Because an interesting thing, like 65 to 75% of my fan base is men. Like men between the ages of 18, 25 to 45 are like my core fan base. And that's always been an interesting thing to me because that's always been the case. You know, when I was coming up, there were people who loved Jana and didn't even know I was a woman because the music just transcended gender. It was just, I can relate to this, you know. But it's always a harder sell to reach the sisters because they require more. They want you to connect with them. They don't want you to just be idealistic. They want to hear from you and feel like, hey, you understand what we're going through too. And yes, you think you're a natural woman and you're this and that, but there are all different kinds of ways to express your femininity. And I definitely endorse that. And while I may not express all of these aspects of myself here on social media, those who know me, and even those who've experienced my performances will know that there are many dimensions. There are many dimensions, you know, and many of us living in here. And yeah, we are about to start to share. So just stay tuned to this space and let's have some of these conversations. And after Japan, and after getting to share in that way, and I promise I will be sharing so much more once I get on the road. And the most crucial thing I want to share, right? And I know I probably will do this announcement officially soon, but I have finally gotten the label to agree on a date when my single will be out. And I am so excited about this next song that I'm about to release. Now, it is the second song that I'd have been, you know, that would have been released since I left Africa, since I came home to Jamaica. And it's a part of what I am dubbing the Open Heart Project. And in this campaign, the intention is to create the context for these conversations. And not just a chatting thing, but use the music to express a part of myself, both with music, with sound, but with also the visuals. Yeah, really incredible visuals. Big up to the team who helped me to organize that vision, Emily and her team. Enough respect. And there is more to come where that is concerned, but Some of you, if you really are following the space, you might have heard me drop a couple verses of that song and wondered, which song is that? And some of you might be like, what are you talking about? But that's okay. That's okay. Because more is on the way. Yeah, we're about to share. And these songs is not your typical Janine song, but it is what is necessary now. And you have to remember, when I started this music, this mission, this infiltration of the reggae music industry, I had an agenda. And it was to serve. I come from that kind of family of people who serve communities and want good for other people and are truly decent people. And I really wanted to serve. And I thought a powerful way to serve would be to point to an example of true leadership and true divine masculinity in His Imperial Majesty. And one of the things that impresses still me the most is how the king honored the queen, how he honored Empress Menen in the way he spoke about her, in the reverence he had at all times for the queen. And of course, you know that coronation moment where everything had to be delayed so that his queen could be crowned at the same time as him. Like, that is a boss move, and that was an extremely important thing that I think sometimes a lot of people don't acknowledge or may not even know, and if you really get to read the words of the king, you'll understand how he reverenced womankind and how he made space for the queen. And every time you see an image of Empress Menen, she is so calm. She's not smiling and giddy, she's not overly serious, she's just the embodiment of calm. And that level of calm comes from a deep peace. And when you see a married woman with that kind of calm, you know that her husband is doing something right. You know that he is making her feel truly safe and valued and seen and protected. And I want to see that for more women, because I know some of the most hardworking women, I think, in the world. I have witnessed it. Some of them are very wealthy, some of them are not materially wealthy, but they are some of the most hardworking women I have ever witnessed, trod this earth. And a lot of them, they're treading it alone, and it makes you feel a little sad for them. And you're not gonna say that you feel sad for them. Come on around with them. They're not sick. They're healthy and they can do it and they can manage and they don't need anything. But it's not always what you think you need, Sometimes it's a beautiful experience to have somebody do something for you that you could do for yourself, and just say, hey, I got this. That feeling, yeah. And if it happens enough times to you, where you are consistently being given an opportunity to rest and to be in your softness rather than having to be the one bearing all the weight, that begins to change you in a beautiful way. And I wish this onto, I pray this for my sisters out there who are working hard, that you will find that space in a man where you can truly feel that. Even for the women who have given up on men, is sometimes because you haven't had that experience. Some women have never had that experience, so they wouldn't even know it if they came upon it. They never had a father who made them feel safe and seen and protected and beautiful and smart, and who affirmed them. And my brothers who are listening, it is so important that those of you, especially those of you who have daughters, really make space for those little girls to feel validated. Your voice, your presence in your daughter's life is so important. Even if you see her growing up strong and independent, trust me, nurture her softness, because the softness is the power. That is the power. That is what is going to heal our communities. Allowing women to be women, allowing women to be soft. Even when we say we can, it doesn't give you the, it really is a better thing to just do that. And I read the true and real men that I know, because I also know some incredible men. Like, I think I know the best of them. From my grandfather, my father, my brother, like, I have really seen some of the best embodiments of the divine masculine, and I give thanks for that so much. I give thanks for that so much. I say it all the time. I think the men in my family have spoiled me for the world, because I go there and it's not very often that I see that in mankind. But when I do, I can immediately identify it. And it is a beautiful thing, you know? And it's such a beautiful thing when, as a woman, you can have a relationship with a man. It's not a sexual relationship. It's not a transactional relationship. It's a supportive relationship. And you allow a man to feel safe enough around you where he can be himself without worrying that you are trying to manipulate him, or that you are going to use his vulnerability against him, or, you know, because men have an incredible capacity to love. Like, it is unmatched. I think we as women, our strengths are spread out across many things, but their strength is truly concentrated in their capacity to love. And a lot of times, some of the men you see who are the worst assholes, it's just, you know, maybe a broken heart, or maybe some terrible thing that happened to them when they were young that they are way too embarrassed to talk about, or whatever it is. And the same is true for women as well. Like, I think at our very nature, we want to be our most ideal self. And I think little by little, the world and society and circumstances chip away at us, and we become this reaction to the world. And when we are traumatized by the world, we feel empowered by embracing and owning that trauma and becoming the embodiment of that trauma. And we think it makes us strong. But I put to you, put down some of that. Like, truly find a way to release some of that. Like, practice forgetting. If you can practice to forget, not that you're not going to learn the lessons, you know, but just even for a moment, you know. And that's something I also want to do in this space. Just schedule some time where we can all just practice that forgetting, even for a moment, because that is really the meditation, you know, to just shut all of the noise down, to shut it all down, and to bring your mind to a zero state where all you're focusing is on your breath. And when you're focusing on the breath, then you can really start to listen to your body, and then you can start to feel, oh, that pain, and then you can start to remember the source of those pains in your body, and you can start to deal with them. And if you're doing it in private when you're alone, it gives you the opportunity to just weep. And when you learn true deep stretch, you get to wring out your organs and your tissues, and you really get to express some. Sometimes it's just too much chatting, you know, and we feel like we have to talk, and we go to the therapist, and the therapist enables us to relive these traumas over and over again. And really, I mean, I studied psychology and I started my master's and stopped because I thought, you know, I don't buy it. Quite frankly, I don't buy the psychoanalytic approach to healing, where you dig up your past and you relive it over and over, and you go out into the world and have experiences, and then you save all of your true feelings for when you go to your therapist and talk to them there. I feel like it prohibits us from truly being in our present moment and dealing with our present moment. And there is always somebody who has gone through a worse trauma than you and made it and survived. There is always someone. Yeah? So I think we really have to stand from a place of empowerment rather than a place of victimhood, and really cultivate our relationship with the highest part of ourselves. Really and truly. But, you know, that might sound a little preachy. So really and truly, I'm just telling you what I'm doing and what I do, because I have been going through some things. And they're not things that I had any control over. And they're things that are still difficult for me to speak about. But in their own way, they are beautiful. And I can look within them and see why they happened, why they had to happen, and how I can grow from having experienced that. And how, even though my world feels like it is forever changed, and I don't know how I'm going to carry on now that my best friend has left this realm, you know, I still can be so grateful that I had the experience of a father who was so amazing. So yeah, this is just a little check-in, just a little off the dome, and you can tell me if you can relate to what I'm saying, if you disagree, like whatever it is, like I want to get to know you now. So this next round of conversation is about getting to know people. I am very extroverted, sure, but I'm also very introverted, and I don't really leave my yard, and I don't really go out much, and I really am a homebody. I get my work done. I love my family. I spend a lot of time in that safe space, and when I go there into the world, because I spend so much time charging myself up, I have the energy to share and give. So I'm using this energy now, and I really want to point it at you. So whether it is you want to have these conversations out loud, or you want to join a broadcast group, because I hear that now we need to do these things too. We have to have broadcast groups and subscriptions and forums and TikTok live and this, that. Whatever it is, I'm going to find a way to get to you, because I want to hear from you, because I feel very uniquely positioned to do this work of helping to bridge that gap between my brothers and sisters, because I truly love my sisters, and I have experienced love from a beautiful family all my life. And so for those who may hear, oh, she loves her sisters, and not understand it, come and me give you some love too, because it is the most powerful and the most beautiful thing. And I love my brothers. We know this. I've written about it. Yeah, we love the brothers. And no matter what is going on in your reality, there is always an opportunity to pivot and recenter. And it's not just about your spirituality exclusively. It's about your life and your legacy and your wealth, and what do you want to leave in this world, and what is the experience you want to have in this world. And there are ways to do this work, and I've been doing this work for decades. So I am in a unique position to help you if you feel like you're ready to learn about yourself and do this work as well. I am not perfect, obviously, but I am doing the work as well. And sometimes it's not the perfect person you need. It's just somebody else who is also trying. And that's what we have in common. No matter what we look like, no matter what we say we are or call ourselves, like, people just want to feel like they belong, No matter how we think we are loners and we can do it on our own, everybody wants that feeling. And even those who don't know they want the feeling, when they feel it, the tears flow, because they've had to do without it for so long. So I know some of you and a lot of people who follow me on this social media space, you all are probably practitioners of your own form of this work. And I would love to hear from you how you practice your self-work, how you practice your self-study and your self-love and your self-governance. Because this is about sharing in the space. I don't know everything, but between the whole of us, we can find a way to help those who are a few steps behind. And those of you who are a few steps ahead of me, I humbly invite you to come into the space and share your wisdom. But let us keep the conversation going. I'm going to post this live on my page. So spread the word. We are putting this community together. We're going to be journaling together, tracking our habits together, having conversations, more of these off the dome monologues, some interviews with some interesting people that I might meet just because I put the word out there. That's how manifestation works, right? And I'm telling you, I'm putting together a very sophisticated plan for social media, and I just thought, hey, put that down and take up your phone and talk to the people. So I'm talking to you, and I'm letting you know I love you, I have missed you, and I am here for you. And however I can help, I am willing to do so. And I have a lot of things doing, so clearly I have my boundaries well established, so like people don't play with me. But at the same time, we're practicing to be the softness that we would like to see in the world. So beautiful people, you have a wonderful night, and you keep pushing forward. You keep pushing forward, and just compare yourself to who you were before. Because each of us have a very special and unique role to play in this beautiful unfolding. Now make them trick you about the rat race and the hamster wheel. Yeah, we all have a very unique and special role to play. So keep it blessed, and until I see you again in the flesh or in the live or online or in my DMs or in my email, which is jazzondub@gmail.com. That's my personal email. So like, I'm really literally ready to talk to people who want to do some work. Yeah, we're talking about Africa as well. We have plans for the continent, particularly East Africa. Yes, and we're not talking about idealistic runaway to Africa. We're talking about the fastest growing economy in the world, and we have access to some of the best investment lawyers and artisans in East Africa, and they want to connect with us. We want to bridge the gap between the diaspora, between the cultures, and even between my brothers and sisters. So stay blessed and let us keep this conversation going. I love you. Much respect. Until next time. Forgive me. Oh, you turn this off. Big up.